So it was a Shabbat morning shortly after moving to Northern California. I was leading a Torah class before services when an elderly and venerable-looking man entered and stood to the side. As the class continued, I couldn't help but notice the sparkle in his eyes. Following the class, he introduced himself, and I had just had the privilege of meeting Harav Elchonon, Henry Ramek, one of the most remarkable people I would ever know. Henry was a never-ending source of inspiration, advice, wisdom, and clarity to countless people. When you spoke to him, you knew he was talking from the heart, and you felt his deep empathy, care, and affection. Henry was driven by love, a love of life, a love of his people, and a love of humanity. He wouldn't hesitate to put the needs of another before his own, taking a keen interest in the well-being of all he came in contact with. He provided support and assistance to those in need in addition to contributing to a myriad of charitable organizations. Harav Elchonon, as we admiringly called Henry, has left an indelible impact on thousands of people. Whether by hearing his story, his soul-stirring prayers when he led the services, his teachings, insights, anecdotes, advice, or just an uplifting and inspiring good word which he always seemed to have. I'm forever grateful to be able to call such a special and unique person a dear friend. And it is an honor and privilege to pay tribute to his memory at tonight's gala. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eve Gordon Ramek, a remarkable woman and dear friend who will give us a glimpse into the life of Harav Elchonon Henry Ramek.
Thank you for coming tonight. I want to thank Rabbi Berkowitz for inviting me to be honored by speaking to you tonight about Henry Elchonon Ramek. How many people here remember Henry? So I just want to say he was a Holocaust survivor, an amazing man who lived an amazing life. I just want to give you a little bit about his background. Henry was born in Malawa, Poland, on the border of Germany. His family was poor, but spiritually very rich. His father was a Talmud Chacham, a Talmud scholar, and a dedicated follower of the Gerer Rebbe. Henry spent his early life studying in yeshiva and receiving smicha, rabbinic ordination, at the early age of 16. He went on to continue his Jewish studies with the hopes of becoming a dayan, a judge on the Bet Din, the rabbinical court. Henry was very ambitious. But the Nazis had other plans for the Jews. And after the Nazi invasion and a number of ghettos and camps, Henry was deported with his family to Auschwitz. Henry lost 64 members of his family. He was the only survivor of the Ramek family. The torture and horrors were so devastating that one evening, he and a few others decided to put an end to their suffering and misery by throwing themselves at the high-voltage electric fence. As they were running towards the fence, he heard a voice in his head shouting, "Stop! Turn back! Don't do this!" Henry stopped and turned back. He made his way back to his barracks. And from that moment on, he was determined to survive, and survive he did. Henry was a true hero. He saved the lives of many, many people, including a young woman whom he met in the camps. He married Anna after the war. Immediately after the liberation, he worked as an interpreter for the American Army. His being fluent in German helped him with that job. He captured many, many Nazi war criminals. Henry and Anna made their way to the United States and settled in Oakland, California. They raised twin boys, Joe and Leo, who both went on to study and graduate from Stanford University. They are both brilliant medical doctors now, and Henry was very, very proud of his sons. Whoops. Among the many losses that Henry suffered during the Holocaust was his faith. The loss of his family and all that was dear to him was a very painful burden, and he could not bring himself to enter a synagogue for 20 years. But one Shabbos morning, Henry had the overwhelming desire to once again go to shul. He put on his suit and his yarmulke, and he walked into Beth Jacob. The Gabbai offered him an aliyah and asked him if he knew the blessing. Did Henry know the blessing? Not only did Henry know the blessing, but he also knew the Parsha and passages of the Mishnah and Talmud and much of it by heart. From that point on, Henry re-embraced his Judaism with dedication, warmth, and passion. So out of the cold, back to the fold. It is not good to be isolated from the Jewish community. In 1996, Anna Ramek passed away. I married Henry 1 year later. In 2010, we heard about a new Chabad rabbi who had moved to Contra Costa. We decided to join Chabad of Contra Costa for Shabbat services, and that's where we met this charming couple, Rabbi Dovner and Chaya Berkowitz. And they had 4-year-old twins at the time. Henry was enthralled and excited to meet a young, energetic, and learned rabbi who was even able to converse with him in his Mama Lashon and Yiddish. It was a nostalgic reminder of his youth, and it was such a joyous and inspiring experience for him to see so many people welcomed in a warm and friendly atmosphere that made Torah and Judaism so real and vibrant. It was uplifting for him to see the future they were holding for our Jewish community. Rabbi Berkowitz could not have been more kind to Henry. He showered him with honors. Henry would look forward to leading the services on Shabbos Melvorkim when he was blessed the new month, and he had a special blessing that he loved to give to bar and bar mitzvah kids. I can tell you that many of his happiest days were the ones he spent with Rabbi Berkowitz and his family. Henry would often tell me how important it was for us to enable and support the incredible work that Chabad of Contra Costa lovingly provides for our community. I am sure that many of you agree with Henry that we are so fortunate to have Rabbi and Chaya Berkowitz here. They work tirelessly on behalf of all of our Jewish community. And providing many programs, classes, events, and experiences. It is our responsibility and privilege to support Chabad of Contra Costa and ensure that they not just survive, but thrive. My father was Rabbi Meir Goldberg of blessed memory, himself a Talmud scholar of note. He was a follower of Rabbi Abraham Isaac Cook. To say that the Bay Area was a midbar, he would say that the Bay Area was a midbar, a spiritually desolate desert. No Jewish content. I'm sure that he would be elated at the beautiful spiritual oasis of Chabad of Contra Costa. So I have an announcement to make. I got a call 2 days ago from Maimonides Hospital in New York, and it was from Talia Ramek Tenenbaum. She just gave birth to her 5th child, and that is Henry's 5th great-grandchild. I know that you are, dear Henry, I know that you are here with us tonight, and you are so happy to see so many people here supporting something so dear to you. May your life and legacy continue to inspire us to strengthen our commitment to Torah, our Jewish heritage, and our community. And dear friends, to share a glimpse of Henry's cherished world of the past and the blooming back to life through our work at Chabad, please direct your eyes to the screens on the left and the right. Thank you.